Good morning, everybody. As you can tell, I'm back. Um, I'll be honest with you, it was a fun trip, but I wish it could have lasted a little bit longer. Um, I'm not going to complain about much because there wasn't much to complain about. There's a lot of things that were not in my control, and being given the way the situation was and whatnot, those things that were not in my control is just like just have to let it play, let it have to be. Um, of course, we got back home. We got back home a little bit later than we thought we were going to get home. We left out of Texas at like 7 o'clock in the morning, but it took us 13 hours instead of 12 hours to get home. It should have only taken us 10, but between potty stops, food stops, gas stops, weather, um, it kept on pushing us back and back and back. Thing was, the weather was the worst because if it wasn't for the weather, we probably would have gotten home between 7:45 and 8:13 thereabouts. We actually didn't get home until almost 8:30 because from the time we hit Joplin, Missouri to Newburgh, or just outside Rolla, west of Rolla, basically, we were getting slammed by rain, and it wasn't just trickling; it was heavy, hardcore downpours, and I was like, right now. My biggest concern was not just the fact of the rain in a driving in a Prius, the rain, the chances of lightning, the chances of flooding and having to be detoured, which would have taken us probably an extra 45 minutes or so. When we got home, we just brought everything in, unpacked what we had to, which was like medicine and cold foods. Medicine because we need it. But our mattress was here. Finally, got our mattress. Jerry was questioning if it was the right one or not, but she looked at a video of what it was supposed to be like, and they were showing it coming out of a box and being more condensed. And while ours was a king, was not in a box. It was wrapped in paper, or not paper, plastic, shrink wrap, whatever you want to call it. It had already been ripped and torn, and the bottom side, which was like the one side of the bed, the bottom was tore out, so it got dirty. And when the rip was from the hole, you got a little bit of dirt on that. So I'm kind of like, First, it took them nearly 3 months to get it to us in the first place. Second, the fact that it was in shrink wrap that had been torn up by shipping and got dirty. Three, we don't think it's the exact one because it does not have the title or the name of the mattress, Lumi or whatever it's called, on the side of the mattress like it does in the video. Granted, the videos have certain production to make it look better and make you think that you're getting this kind of thing. So it's kind of like, this is one of the reasons why I don't like ordering from QVC. Granted, their payment plans and whatnot are fine and dandy and great, and they make it easier for you to pay for, but 9 times out of 10, it's either the product takes forever to get to you, or you get the product and it's not exactly 100% what it looked like in the picture or the video or any of that stuff from the QVC production company. So, yeah. I'm not going to ever order anything big like that from QVC again. Now, Mom's been happy with QVC because, in fact, most of what Mom buys is jewelry. Small stuff, not big, humongous stuff like a mattress. So, my already tired, sore body had to struggle and fight with a mattress and a bed system to get it all set up. And I feel sorry for Lisa because she's laying down in the guest room listening to me curse up a storm like a Marine Corps drill sergeant. Not a pretty picture. But I had to get it all set up, otherwise, where are we gonna sleep? That That infector Jerry wanted it set up so she can sleep with me, which is fine, Danny, because we have not been sleeping in the same bed for 2 weeks, and I'm like, what if I didn't go down to Texas and she went down to Texas for 2 weeks? You know, that kind of thing. But we got home, big old pack of mail, big old like pile of mail, which we're getting to this morning. Jerry has some items that I guess were friend mail, most likely birthday gifts, because we were in Texas during her birthday. So yeah, we had fun. I got to go to one of my favorite bookstores. The place is called Half Price Books, and they always have good, decent selection if you know what you're looking for and know where to look for it. Now, one of the things I got for myself for really cheap was this nice little notepad. I'm going to be using it for a specific purpose I have in mind, and I don't know how much it would cost in the open market, but it's only, $5.99. Hey, fairly decent price. I'm not gonna complain. Then I found their mythology section, and boy howdy, did I find some good books. I found another book for $4.99 called Norse Mythology by Jackson. So Lisa asked me how do I choose the books that I want to read, and I just go, well, I usually read the back end, to see what it talks about, and if it talks about something I seem interested in, I take it, I buy it. So this is probably a little bit more in depth in certain things on Norse mythology than the book I already have. So I'm going to read the two and compare them. Yes, I got a lot of books to read, and right now it looks like I'm going to have plenty of time to read them all. This one is called The Vikings, the battle at the end of time. And it was a $7.99 purchase, and I read it, and I was like, okay. Now, I love stories and books that have information on the different cultures' view of what the end times the warnings of what the end times could be like, or the supposed warnings and struggles of the end times. I read the Bible. Revelations is very interesting. It looks and sounds very bleak, but the end stories for most of these cultures are the same. I read end time versions from the Bible. Now I'm going to be reading one on Norse mythology, Native Americans, the Chinese version, or what they call the I Ching. I think it's called. No, is it I Ching? I can't remember what the name of the group that wrote the book, but it's basically the Chinese or Asiatic version, or not exactly Chinese. Is it the Tao? Buddha or Taoism speaks of an end time. The Egyptians spoke of an end time. Even the Romans spoke of an end time. Every culture has their own version of the end times. The Native American one that I read about or heard about was really interesting, because it's the Hopi or Navajo had cliff paintings of their different story of the end times, and when it gets to the end of the supposed what happens during the end times, it just drops off. Like there's nothing else. It's over. It's done. There's nothing else to be looking forward to. But it does talk about, what makes it sound weird is the fact it talks about how those who've walked the good red road, which is basically the Native American version of saying a good life, they are taken away from the disasters and the dangers and the harms of the end times, and then there's nothing else. Like they couldn't see beyond, their visionaries, their shamans or whatnot could not see beyond the destruction of the planet. most cultures talk about, you know, the good people, the people who have done right by their standards or whatever, get to go into their version of heaven. The Bible talks about how the old earth and the new heaven will combine and become one, and those who are chosen to survive the end times and the Holocaust and the apocalypse or whatever, get to redo things, live anew type thing. And I'm just kind of wonder what the Vikings have to say about that, because they talk. I mean, I've heard stories about Ragnarok, but I've never like gotten in depth into it. But well, now I can. I hope. I know it seems like a very bleak, negative thing to be reading about or looking into when you're trying to be positive, but it's one of those things where it's like, yes, I see all the negative things that could come out of the book and whatnot, but what's the positive end version? I'm always trying to look for the positive end nowadays. And then the third book I got, which was also $7.99. All four items I bought from Half Price Bookstore only came to like 21 and change. So, hey, 3 books in a notebook for less than $30 or less than $20. Well, no, less than $25. Hey, that's a good, that's a good day. The next one is The Vikings: A History of the Norse People. So it's another book on the Viking or Norse people and their history. I tell you what, I can never seem to get enough when it comes to reading materials on various types of subjects. Right now it's the Norse people. Before it was the Native American people. Sometime during the in between the Native Americans and the Norse people was just any kind of good book that gave me information or inspiration or knowledge that I was interested in. Nature. My father-in-law gave me books on fish. Because it had to do with nature, animals, the world around me. I could give two, excuse my language, shits about economics or politics or the way governments run or anything of the man-made world, because I know it sounds like a contradiction because I'm reading about the Vikings and how they were, but modern day life, modern day people, modern day government systems, modern day systems, period, are so annoyingly backwards, especially in this country. I mean, when you hear about how even Canada takes care of their own people with their social medicine and whatnot, compared to here in America, it's just kind of like, if it wasn't for the factor, I know I don't want to live that far north. Well, Minnesota is pretty much close as I want to get to Canada. Minnesota and Montana and Washington State. Yeah, I've seen pictures of Canada, Quebec, and all that, and it's beautiful land and whatnot, but it can get downright miserable and cold, and no. That, in fact, I'm not a hockey fan. I'm sorry. I know that sounds a little cliche, but no. But yeah, I had a good time up in Texas. I got, did not get to do what I wanted to do. I'm a little, just ever so slightly annoyed by the fact of that I went up there thinking, oh yeah, I'm taking 100 pounds worth of Dungeons and Dragons books we never got to play. I thought we were going to, but unfortunately, Evan, which is Lisa's oldest son, was too busy. I mean, he's got a life. He's got work. He's got all kinds of things that he's doing to make money to pay for his stuff. So I once I got the 411 and whatnot, he wanted to play. He wanted to get into D&D and whatnot with us, but his life just there was no time. So hey, I can't fault him for trying to live his life and do what he needs to do to better his life. So I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, I was unhappy. I was a little bit annoyed and whatnot, but I was just kind of like, I get it. He's doing what he has to do to make ends meet. So I couldn't really get too upset about that. So now I'm home. I have my unpacking to do. Lisa's bringing us home. She's gonna be here until at least Tuesday, and then she's gonna head to see her sister, or family members down in Georgia. I thought she was gonna do that before coming here, but plans change. You know, things happen. But so my office space is a little tight again because I moved everything that was sitting out in the living room and all the other rooms, well, especially in the kitchen, in the foyer area, into here, so Mom wouldn't have to stumble over them or move them around to get to certain places, whatever. But as I told you, when we got back, we had packages, and there was like a couple different packages for Jerry, which I understand because it's her birthday. But one thing that was sitting in the packages was a piece of friend mail, and I'm not sure if the address that I'm looking at up here is the address it came from or the company that shipped it, but it's from one of the shipping companies from Utah. So I want to open this in front of you guys. And let me just move it so you can see the process. I have a little samurai sword looking letter opener. I've had it for years and it's done me great. Just every so often I have to sharpen it because it does get dull from all the tape. I didn't want to go out and get my box cutter for this because oh well. And it says fragile on it, so I'm guessing it's something breakable. Now, for any of you who are watching me for the umpteenth time or the first time, know this much: I don't ask for anything. People send me friend mail on the goodness of their heart. Oh. Jim, enjoy the memory box for your pocket watches. It's from Michelle Weeks. She got me a box to display my pocket watches. I have a bunch of pocket watches which have wools and whatnot on it. So interesting. Memory box for a family. Well, and it's got two little squeeze thingies on the side and what looks like a locking mechanism. Oh my. There's the key for it. Oh my. Well, it's got the little thingies for watches, but I guess there's a way I can make it work. Michelle, you've outdone yourself again. I really like this. Let's see here. Basically, it's got 10 compartments for 10 different watches. And it's got the little thing, like, so if you have an actual watch, not a pocket watch like I do, which has got chains, I could probably wrap the chain around there and I'll figure it out. And then a way to display it. And it's got a little lock on the front. And I didn't take the styrofoam out, but it's, you know what? I can do this. It's just. And what I like about it is the factor, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a big H etched into the glass with the word memory box of family. That is great, Michelle. I really love this. I'm gonna put everything back in the box the way it was. Slide this back in here. But that's, Michelle, you did it. You outdone yourself again. I love it. Just to me, I don't know what to say. Okay. Hmm. Um. Hmm. I'm gonna try not to cry. Um. This is great. This is great. Oh, and yeah, okay. You had it customized to put that age on there. That's great. That's really good. Um, I'll tell you folks right now, I know most of you who are watching me have watched me for a while. Some of you have been watching me since the get-go, since the beginning. So y'all know I don't ask for stuff. Whatever you choose, whatever the viewer chooses to send is on their choice. I know I'm gonna call you guys out because I love you guys so much. Michelle Weeks, which sent me this nice display box. Sheila Hall has sent me this tapestry behind me. Oh, that thing behind me. Now I can't remember if Nelly has sent me anything or anything or anything like that, but I know Sheila and Nelly have both been viewers of my channel since day one, since before I even got monetized. I know there's a number of other people out there who have been watching me since before I got monetized. Unfortunately, I don't remember all your names because I'm that kind of person that remembers people's names because of how many times they made comments or what kind of comments they made, what kind of support they've done. The fact that I got this gift, I'm sorry I don't remember if it was Sheila or Nelly. They will probably tell you in the comments that it was them or which one of them it was. But thank you very much, Michelle. I really appreciate that. As soon as I go to start decorating, or finish up the decorating in our bedroom, that will definitely have the pocket watches and whatever watches I may have that I don't wear on a regular occasion. There is one particular pocket watch that or not pocket watch. There's one particular watch I have. It's an old Casio. I think it's a Casio. My dad had it way back during the 60s. I still have it. I changed the band on it because the particular band that was on it, I did not like. I don't like those bands that basically stretch and they can pinch your skin or whatnot. And, yeah, ouch. But I still have the main body of the watch. And the only thing wrong with that watch, besides the factor of it's one of those type of watches that you can't just wind up and it does not use a battery. It's what they call centrifugal force winding. Basically, when you wear it and as you move your wrist and whatnot, it helps keep the mechanisms inside going, the spring and whatnot to go. And the only thing that's really wrong with it is the crystal on the face of it is broken, it's cracked. Because of its age and whatnot, nobody has the ability to replace that. So it's kind of like, all right, I'm not going to risk breaking it or doing any more damage to it, so I'm just going to put a band on it and stick it in my my jewelry case, my jewelry cabinet. So that one watch may get a place in the display. There's two other watches that I have that I barely wear. One of them is a nice men's dress watch, which it's a dress watch. I don't wear dress watches that often. So that might go into the display. I don't remember how many. I think I've got about 5 or 6 actual pocket watches. When I go to put them in the display, I will probably show those pocket watches off because they're beautifully done. They were done and purchased through the Hamilton Collection company. Unfortunately, they are battery driven, and the batteries are dead. And I don't really want to take them to a jeweler to have them scuff up the back of the watch just to replace the battery, when I don't really wear them anymore. They're more display nowadays because I love them. When we were going through our stuff in the bedroom and I came across all my watches and whatnot, I was like, I don't know what to do with them. I don't use them. They're beautiful. They would be great if I had a way of displaying them. And I even asked her, should I try to sell them in the yard sale for big money, because they cost me a pretty penny. They weren't cheap. I was thinking that for the most part, most of those watches, to buy them through the Hamilton Collection again would be like $150 or more. And I was thinking, if I go to sell these, it's going to be good, not even 25, like $50 to $75, because that's like half of what it would cost to buy them at online at the Hamilton store. You know. But the thing is, around here in Missouri, most people don't know what a wolf is. We know what coyotes are because we got a big problem with coyotes. But when it comes to actual wolves and their true meaning and their demeanor and whatnot, to me, I would not get rid of them. But for in the spirit of decluttering and and codifying or hagifying my house, it was kind of like one of those, I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to stick them in a drawer again. I think they need to be on display, but I just don't know how to display them. Well, Michelle gave me a way of displaying them, so I'm very appreciative of that. So I'm like, okay. You know, Michelle did me a solid. Saved me the how am I going to display them? What kind of display device or mechanism or whatever unit? Because I was like, well, I can either put a nail in or a hanging device in the back of my H cabinet and hook them on that. But they would be in the back of the H cabinet. You'd barely see them. I can use cup hooks and put little cup hooks on my side of the bedroom and hang them off there. And I was like, nah, that would look tacky. That just would, it's a great way of trying to do it, but it would be like, no. So I figured I'll find a way. Well, don't have to worry about that no more. Anyhow, also one of the things that happened while I was in Texas is I goofed up on my phone. Yes, I know they would have been about a week to 2 weeks late because of when I made them and when I planned on putting them out. Like this morning, I didn't even tell you. It's the 18th of July. It's after 11 o'clock. We're pretty darn close to it. Actually, it's probably closer to 11:30. Okay. I'm just so excited to be home. I'm excited to be able to sit down and relax and not have to worry about noisy kids, because that's one of my things I get triggered and causes me anxiety is children who are rambunctious and noisy indoors. And Lisa has 3 grandkids that live in the same apartment complex as her. So they come over on a regular basis. I mean, like daily. And it was like, oh, no. Loud, obnoxious, just, nah, yeah. I'm just gonna grab a book or my phone and sit here quietly in a corner and try to distract myself from the noise. So, there are certain things you can't control that you just have to just deal with. But all in all, it was good. It was a good time. But now that we're home, I'm going to take today to relax. And then within a day or so, once I feel my body's back in order, because I'm having lower back pains and a few other problems, I'm going to talk to Jerry, and we'll start getting to work on her craft room. On a good note, while we were in Texas and we were figuring out what we're going to have to do when we get home, it looks like if I can just pick up a couple extra hours or so of door dashing, I may not have to go back to work until like either mid-August or mid to late August. Or what's this next month? Is next month? Yeah, next month is August. So yeah, I probably have a good 3 to 4 weeks worth of not having to worry about jobs outside the house or door dashing. But I told Jerry we got to figure this out soon, because we're getting into that month before school starts back up, and the college kids are going to be getting back in town, which means a lot of the jobs will be getting taken up. Because I don't think I can do anything in the medical field. I don't think anybody would hire me for hotel services or anything with all the different hotels we have in town. And in fact, with all the college kids coming back in town, just about every job in Raleigh will be taken up. I would have to look for a job at like St. James, Cuba, Vienna, some of the other towns that are just a little bit further than I want to drive, or in directions or places that are like a little daunting. And the reason why I said that is because back here, I have not really driven on an open highway in forever. When I used to work in St. James, I used to take the back roads. There's not very many back roads between here and Cuba, or Edgar Springs, which is down south, or Vienna, which is up north, or all the way to St. Roberts, which is a good 45-minute drive. Most of the back roads are going to be take a little bit longer and a lot more, it's not a straight line basically. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get the car. I'm gonna have to get the just do what I used to do before I found the back road to St. James. Get on that highway, stay on that one side of the road, be mindful of what's in front of you. Don't get unnerved or paranoid because of a big rig trying to pass me, or whatever's coming up behind me, because whatever's coming up behind me can go around me. Don't let them push me into a uncontrollable anxiety issue. Because yes, driving on a highway does cause me some anxiety. That's one of the reasons why I try to avoid the highways. But as me and Jerry discussed not too long ago, it's because of her eyesight going bad, even with what she's had done to her eyes. It's a immaculate. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a type of. It happens with certain kinds of diabetes or certain kinds of health issues, where the nerves on the eyeball start to deteriorate and the muscle tissue starts to separate. So it's a form of genetics, something to do with genetics. I can't remember exactly what the doctors told us, and I just kind of went, great. So there may be a chance that if my eyes stay good, I might be the one driving the most to everywhere. Because right now it's like her the cones in her eyes that help you see colors is causing her to go colorblind. That in fact, she gets, there are certain issues at times where everything just seems to be a blur. So her depth perception and things like that are kind of going askew. And I was like, okay. If that's the case, we need to think about we need to talk about a few other things. I usually don't talk to you guys about her health issues and whatnot, because that's for her to tell you guys, because I don't want anybody from my channel going over to her channel and bringing up a whole lot of stuff. But for me, my biggest concern isn't the fact that she's going colorblind or anything like that. It's, I have to get over myself and be capable of driving wherever we want to go. And I had talked with her. I had actually talked with one or two other people I'm not even going to mention, because in fact they're mutual friends and they understand what I'm dealing with. But I had a little bit of a conversation. I said, I want to do the camping, I want to do the RVing, but if Jerry can't drive, I don't know if we're going to be able to. And I even said, if I had a vehicle I was comfortable in, and if if we had to do a trailer instead of an actual RV, I've looked at a bunch of different trailers, and I'm like, well, the teardrop trailers aren't that big, they're not that fancy, they don't have a lot of amenities. But because of the aerodynamics of that particular trailer, I could probably handle that. It's small, it's short, it's not big. My biggest thing is, if I'm going to be towing a trailer behind a vehicle, one, I want to be able to handle the vehicle and be comfortable in the vehicle. Two, I want the trailer to be as aerodynamic as possible. And I looked at, and I don't want it to be this big long, I don't want to be driving like a pickup truck or something like that that's, let's say, 8 foot long from nose to tail, and then have a 20 plus trailer behind me. That's 28 feet worth of vehicle that I have to deal with. And my biggest thing is, like, I don't want to be driving a trailer, or pulling a trailer that's going to start doing this behind me, because then I have to either slow down or fix something. So it's like, I'm not going to give up the dream. I'm just going to I just have to realize that I'm going to be the one responsible. So yeah, that's what's been going on lately. Because of I had 3 other videos from the week before we left for Texas to go out. Those videos, I had an issue with my phone, and those videos disappeared on me. Luckily, most of those videos were just vlogs like this. One video did have something to do with the American Cozy reading, and which means I'm gonna have to go back to my videos that I have online to sorry, I heard a noise. I'm gonna have to go back to my last video to see where I left off. Yeah. Anyhow, the purpose of the beard: to catch droplets or crumbs. Sorry, that was just off the wall. So, being that this is my newest video, I am going to try my best, since I have all the time in the world, to record the video, edit the video, process the video, and then put it online, so I don't have to worry about a video that's been sitting in my phone from a week ago going, hey, when you gonna put me out there, coach? Oops. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure love the factor of Michelle's gift. When I start to read any of these new books that I have, which probably won't be for a while, you know what I'll do, because you know I like to talk about these things, and I will either talk about each chapter or each section, or give you a synopsis or something along those lines. But anyhow, I have some minor work to do in here. I have some major work to do throughout the house. I don't know when I'm going to get to it. But any of the footage for the projects we've been doing around the house, you can see those on my wife's channel. Just look for Jerry Ann Henson. I know she's got 2 different channels out there. One of them is for her blog, her vlogs and whatnot, and the other one is for her the projects we do around the house. I will tell you this much, because I've seen people asking about it on her channels. Everybody wants to know when she's going to go back to doing her DIYs and whatnot. Right now, because we're doing projects, her doing DIYs probably will not be happening for a little bit while longer, because one of the things we want to do, and she wants to get it done as soon as possible, and so do I, is she wants to revamp her craft room so it's easier for her to do crafts. But we have already got plans to start doing some fall holiday DIYs very soon, because well, to be honest with you, that's what's been the money makers, is when she does her DIYs. So I'm hoping we get that done soon. Anywho, again, Michelle, thank you for the beautiful display cabinet for my watches. Yeah, if you liked this little video and you liked what you saw or what you heard, great, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about anything to do with this particular video, or maybe you've seen 1 or 2 other videos in the past and you had 1 or 2 questions about those videos, go ahead and excuse me, go ahead and put them in the comment area. I will try to answer or deal with those comments as soon as I see them. If you're new to my channel and you liked the factor that I talk about the Vikings or Norsemen, or you like anything you've heard from a couple of my past videos, and you decided this is the video that you're gonna hit the subscribe button, go right ahead. If you choose to, there's a little subscribe button floating around down here in the corner. You can click on that. Once you click on that, a little bell will pop up. You click on the bell and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. So until next time, have a good day. Bye.